folks, quick update. We're going to be making the J6 doc free. So anybody who wants to watch it, you haven't seen it yet, I know some of you are on Rumble or YouTube, go watch it. We're making it free for, I think, all of September. Share it. If you know friends who didn't want to subscribe to watch it, share it. Tell them it's free now. They can watch it. I know it costs us a bit to make, of course. But just in terms of national importance, we've decided that the doc is important enough where we should just make it free. So, folks, please share it again. And also, we have DVDs coming out. So, epochshop.com, epochshop.com. We also have it for sale, and you can check out our other merch there as well. That said, folks, great having you all here. I want to go into what's happening with government censorship because there's some bombshell. I know I don't like the overuse of the word, but there are some bombshell revelations on government censorship, and it's an overused word, but it's the only way to use it in this case. The government has been meeting regularly with Facebook and other social networks, having meetings and advising them on how to censor people. They even have what they call the disinformation dozen of key influencers on like COVID vaccines who they say should be censored. It's huge. I'm going to show you the actual documents and we're going to go over it. Also, Project Veritas has had some interesting reporting recently, new videos, undercover recordings, exposing religious discrimination and some of the radical agendas that are in American schools. It's some wild stuff showing, for example, the discriminating against Catholics, something the U.S. military is also exposed with when it came to evangelical Christians. It's wild stuff, folks, and all of this is going to have huge implications. One, because, well, I'll get into it. On the Project Veritas one, because this is going to be basically showing the flip around of the narratives. You cannot make anti-discrimination laws and try to enforce them based on race without discriminating against people based on race or religion or whatever else. The irony of it is that they are beginning to do what they're accusing others of doing. By trying to eliminate discrimination, they've become the discriminators. By trying to stop bullying, they've become the bullies. And it's magnificent how it's just falling to pieces. At the same time, too, this censorship case, what this means is that all your friends who I don't know if you got it too. I had it where some friends of mine who were like borderline anarchists were defending corporate censorship. I was telling them, hey, these big corporations like Twitter, Facebook, yeah, they're censoring me. It's crazy. And they're like, well, it's not censorship if a business does it. And these are guys whose creed is about, evil corporations and the millionaires and billionaires, the AOC lingo and stuff. They're against it, but when you talk about them politically censoring people they don't like, they love it. What this means, and I'm going to show you these documents, this new case on Facebook that's going to affect Twitter as well. What this means is that the government is censoring people, and they're doing it under the illusion of corporations and private businesses. This is actual fascism. This is a fascist and I'm not doing that as a name-calling thing. This is fascist and the actual practice of what the word means. This is a government corporate tyranny that is being used to seize people's rights and violate the law. Folks, let's go into this. First off here, let me show you this. This is the actual lawsuit page. This is Eric Schmidt, Missouri Attorney General. And it says, Missouri and Louisiana Attorneys General ask court to compel Department of Justice to produce communications between top officials, i.e. Biden administration officials, and social media companies. And it says, yesterday, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt and Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landy filed a joint statement on discovery, which is where you can get documents from people, right? Part of a lawsuit process, on discovery disputes, asking the Louisiana District Court to compel the Department of Justice to turn over communications between high-ranking Biden administration officials from the White House, State Department, FBI, and others, including, they might even get Fauci's, although the government's trying to block it. I'll go into that later. The government's trying to block the release of Fauci's emails with these social media companies. I'm not even joking. Again, we'll get into it in a bit. And it's all these big agencies and major social media companies. It says the Department of Justice has already turned over communications between a number of federal officials and social media companies, but has refused to provide communications between top-ranking officials and social media companies like Fauci, for example. In other words, what they're doing right now, through this lawsuit, they have a discovery process. That discovery process lets them request documents from businesses and from the government. Part of that process, they're releasing emails, and the emails are showing communications mostly among just government employees and these social media companies. And the government, the Biden administration, is trying to prevent the release of high-level officials and those social media companies, because this wasn't just like a business relationship where, the Facebook was just talking to well, they had this as well, but just talking to these low-level officials as part of an advisory process, which is even kind of illegal, at least in terms of the government advising on censorship. This is also higher up. This is leadership positions. This is top-level positions within these government agencies working hand in glove through these social media networks to violate people's constitutional rights. Further in, it says this: the joint statement continues, quote, "The discovery provided so far demonstrates that this censorship enterprise is extremely broad, including officials in the White House, HHS, DHS, CISA, CDC, NIAID, i.e. Fauci, and Office of the Surgeon General. All of those agencies involved in government censorship. And evidently, other agencies as well, such as the Census Bureau, the FDA, the FBI, the State Department, the Treasury Department, the U.S. Election Assistance Commission, and we'll see if there's even more to add to this list, folks. This is a whole of government action to censor you, to make sure you can't talk about vaccines, to censor things on elections. And one of the reasons why we're not broadcasting right now on the Crossroads YouTube channels is because we're banned for 2 weeks for our Dinesh D'Souza interview we published months ago, which means they retroactively censored us. And I believe, based on that they might have updated their algorithm specifically to censor Dinesh, which is, again, why we're not. Those of you watching on YouTube, if you can even find us, it's because we're on the Epic TV channel, right? We're banned for 2 weeks. They give us another strike. YouTube, you get 3 strikes, they kick you off the platform, but the strikes reset after a while, so we've gotten several 1 strikes, and then we don't violate it long enough where they don't kick us off. So we're still on YouTube somehow. But further in, folks, let me go over this a bit more.